Money counter gon' count up 100. Cut the check and I cry like an onion. Only focus on women and money. Being broke made me sick to my stomach.
That boy glowing. Okay. Little chain in the building, little chain in the cut. What's good, YouTube? It's Lock and Des coming at y'all with another reaction video. Now look, I know y'all be on TikTok. The 100 people versus a gorilla debate has been going crazy this week. I'm Team Gorilla. Y'all let me know what y'all are in the comment section below. I just feel like there's nothing that any singular person can do to hurt a gorilla at all, bruh. What is it? If you punch a gorilla, is it gonna have any effect besides making it mad and he gonna hit you with one of these? Be honest. Be honest. He gonna hit you with one of these and you gonna be like this. And you ain't gonna have no neck no more. There's nothing we could do to beat a gorilla, bruh. Our punches, these right here, have no effect. You only making it angry. I seen people that was like poking in the eyes. Put your hand, like do some awkward, whatever weird stuff to make it feel pain, bro. He's gonna grab you. He's gonna yoke you up like these. And he's going to throw you onto the ground, rip you in half, literally anything you can imagine. Because he can bench, he can probably lift thousands of pounds. And we don't weigh nothing but 100 average people, probably like 100 to 200 pounds, bro. So, with that being said, we about to react to this video by Lonks Takes. I think I've watched one of his videos before. 100 people versus a gorilla, the honest truth. I'm very curious to see what he say, man. Let's see if he team gorilla or team 100 bobs from down the road, bro. If you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. We're on the road to 500. I will be doing a giveaway of 500 subscribers. So if you want some money on for showing some support to your boy, make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. And at 1,000 subscribers, we will be doing a wave check. We'll be doing a wave check at 1K. But with that being said, I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer in the intro. Let's see what he talking about, man.
So recently, all of social media has been blowing up with the debate of one gorilla versus 100 humans. The funny thing is that everyone seems completely—
I walk away from my homeboy's grave after he gets how it feels to get my revenge on the gorilla that just mauled all 99 of my homeboys is not happening.
Completely divided onto who would win the
You just
fight.
gonna let
One
it
side
happen.
thinks that the
You gonna be
gorilla
another
would pull
victim.
Winston and just completely thrash the army of humans with ease, while the other side believes that the sheer numbers would let the humans just beat up the gorilla like it's
not
Naruto.
enough.
But who is actually correct? Is
Let's
a gorilla
see,
versus 100 people actually a fair fight,
Let's
or
see.
is it actually a stomp? Does the gorilla win, or do
Look
the
at
humans?
him.
Let's
Bro.
find out. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's jump right in.
I'm telling
Now,
you, it's
to
a
begin,
wash.
I think it's important to establish both sides of this fight. For the gorilla, we are assuming that this is essentially the strongest gorilla possible. Of the 4 gorilla species, easily the largest and strongest would be a silverback eastern lowland gorilla. At the absolute largest, gorillas can stand at over 6 feet tall and weigh between 400 and 500 pounds, with the largest ever being about 600 pounds or even beyond. However, this fails to capture how a gorilla's overall proportions drastically exceed that of a normal human, with a wingspan of over 8 feet, drastically more muscle mass, and far less body fat. In comparison to the peak
Pure
gorilla,
muscle.
the group of humans will be made up of 100
Average humans is
There will be
regular
no
people.
boxers, nor MMA fighters,
No John
athletes,
Jones.
and instead it will just be
No
100
Brian
totally
Shaws.
normal people with totally
No Mike
normal
Prime Mike
physical stats,
Tysons.
with there being an equal number of men and
Regular
women.
people.
Now, technically, average height and weight varies somewhat drastically across the planet, so
Right.
for this video, we'll be taking the stats from just Americans when possible. This means the 50 men in the group will be on average 5'9" and almost 200 pounds, while the 50 women in the group will be on average 5'4".
Oh, and there's women? Now, I'm all for gender equality. I'm all for equal rights, equal fight, not equal, not equal rights, equal fights, even though that's how it should be. But I'm all for, you know, feminism. That's what I'm trying to say. So we got 50 men and 50 women. I never thought about that. It's 100 people, not just 100 men. We were thinking about this as 100 men. Ooh, it's cooked. No offense. No offense to all the beautiful ladies out there. I love my beautiful ladies. But y'all a little more on the softer side. You feel me? And this is a silverback gorilla. I'm just saying.
And 170 pounds. Now, to be fair, Americans are kind of fat, so ultimately using the statistics of a healthier nation doesn't change these values very much, or the outcome, in my opinion. Still, either way,
yeah,
the
you know what
gorilla
that
is going to
mean.
be far
GG.
larger than any single human, exceeding them in height by a couple inches, and being casually twice the weight of the average man. Also, just so we're all on the same page, this is what 100 people looks like. It's definitely not a small group, but it's also not a...
That's 100 people, bruh. This is 100 people. This is what y'all think. Bro, it's over, bro. It's over, bro.
Massive crowd.
Y'all know
by
where this is
means.
going.
A lot of college lectures have more people than this in them. With that being understood, who wins this?
Come on, man.
Determining
Let's be
the
for
true
real, bro.
strength of a gorilla is incredibly difficult for multiple reasons.
Mm.
Firstly, gorillas ultimately are not a predatory species, so in comparison to something like a bear, a wolf, or any of the big cats, they rarely, if ever, go out of their way to attack humans. Secondly, unlike for humans that will willingly do experiments to test the limits of human strength, doing the exact same thing is almost impossible for gorillas because they're not just going to do a bench press
Imagine.
for a couple of bananas, unfortunately. This forces most, if any, estimations of gorilla strength to be just that, estimations based off of their bodies and the very rare instances of strength that we have seen from them. Thirdly,
I know
there
y'all
is
seen
a
that on
lot
TikTok.
of hearsay and misinformation regarding gorillas,
Gorilla
with
misinfo.
most online sources claiming completely different stats for what gorillas are actually capable
Okay,
of.
let's
Finally,
see.
a lot of info
Okay.
about gorillas that does exist is oftentimes really old. The biggest issue, though, is that inconsistent information. For example, one website says they can lift 1,800 pounds, while another claims they can lift more than twice that at 4,000 pounds. Things get even more wild when these resources put it in terms of humans. Some claim that a gorilla is 8 times stronger than an average man. Another claims
Jesus.
that they are 4 to 10 times stronger than a
Jesus.
human. Another source
Either way, you
claims
slice
12
it.
times, with another claiming that gorillas are a whopping 20 times stronger than a human. Clearly, the only consistent
20
thing
is
agreed on
crazy.
here is
20
that
a little
gorillas are
crazy.
stronger than humans, but this much variation in number between sources...
That's like saying if a human could lift 100 pounds, a gorilla could lift, what is that? 2,000 pounds? Oh, that's not crazy.
is enough to
Yeah,
say
that's
that
not
these
crazy at all,
numbers are
actually.
completely made up or very unsubstantiated. So let's look to what actual researchers have said about gorillas, or what we have actually seen them do in real
Okay, you
life.
coming with the real,
Consistently,
raw
gorillas have been
facts.
seen
All right, bet.
uprooting thin banana trees,
assuming.
shattering protective
assuming.
glass, and have broken human arms in brief attacks. Smaller and weaker primates like chimpanzees have shown feats of strength 2 to 3 times stronger than that of a normal human, around 800 to 1,200 pounds. Given that chimps are less than a quarter of the weight of a gorilla, suddenly the 4,000 pound claims look slightly more valid and would approximately make them 8 to 10 times stronger than a human being
That
lifting
sounds
wise,
about-
though
that sounds
strength
about
and
right.
weight don't exactly work like that in a 1-to-1 ratio, clearly. Looking back to older information, the statements get harder to verify, but could also be potentially more legitimate, as these were real interactions in the wild. We have accounts from 19th century explorer Paul Chalu recounting gorillas snapping and bending metal guns with their bare hands, or even an older account from explorer Andrew Patel that recounts that 10 people were unable to pin a gorilla down. Finally, we have more speculative calculations around things like gorilla bite force and punching strength, which is incredibly difficult to calculate without, having the gorilla punch something that actually measures the force. Still,
Right.
even
Or
the
some
most
DBZ
lowball
punching
calculations put the gorilla's strength at around 881 joules of force, with the highest being 3,660 joules of force. In comparison, humans
Street level?
output only about 74 joules with their punch.
Oh. Hold on. I want y'all to really hear what he just said now. Look. Low ball. On the low ball end. Hold on. Where am I myself? High end. 1,800. High end on a high ball. 3,600. Either way. He said humans. 74. 74 joules. Our punches have no effect. No effect.
Punches, which would make the potential difference in punch power anywhere from around 10 to 50 times. I don't think really speed is something we really need to talk about here. It isn't like other power scaling topics where either side is a blitz difference faster than the other or anything like that. Gorillas and humans are simply comparable in overall speed, with the gorilla being a bit faster in bursts of muscular power, though such speeds aren't exactly sustainable. So overall,
Okay.
gorillas are stronger, larger, heavier, and more powerful than multiple humans combined. Either way though, are the humans cooked? Let's get into it. Now,
Let's
in a
see,
1v1,
I'm curious.
2v1, or even 10v1, I think the gorilla could pretty easily take it. From everything we've seen, from
Wait,
historical
he
or
said
even 10 way though, I think the gorilla could pretty easily. Let's get into it. Now, in a 1v1, 2v1, or even 10v1, I think the gorilla could...
He said a 1, a 2, or a 10. Hold on, Lonk. Hold on. He about to... Hold on.
pretty easily take.
You think
From
humans?
everything we've seen, from historical accounts to estimations, a gorilla may legitimately be around 10 times the strength of average humans, making all of these random articles potentially correct even if they were just yapping. Single strikes and bites from a gorilla is going to be breaking bones of whoever is unlucky enough to be in range. As they tend to do, they can also easily grab, lift, and pull around
gonna
any
lift you
human
up.
they manage to grab. Furthermore, most attacks from a
You're
human
done.
are simply not going to legitimately harm a gorilla. The difference in the basic lifting and punching power being so immense that the person punching
Human
the
number
gorilla
4 is Stalin
would
for
probably
humans,
hurt
5
their
to 100.
hands more than the gorilla's body. But as the number of humans increases towards 100, things get worse and worse for the gorilla for multiple reasons. Firstly, fatigue. Gorillas are not used to, nor are they really built for long, drawn-out fights.
Okay.
Most conflicts between gorillas only last a couple minutes at most, which is actually true for most humans as well. But while
Right.
the gorilla might tear through 20, 30, 40 people, boom, there are still 60 humans the gorilla has to beat in order to win. Secondly, in this fight, strategy and coordination genuinely matter. For this fight to even happen, we kind of need to ignore the concept of fear for both
Hold on
sides.
now.
If a gorilla saw a group of 100 humans, they are very likely not going to attack and just
Right.
run away. On the other side,
Realistically
if most
speaking.
people saw a gorilla beating up a dude, they're not going to jump in and help out.
Absolutely
They are
not.
also running away. With that being
Couldn't
said,
pay
if
me.
both sides
I'm pulling-
legit
you
going
see what
to
he just
jump in
did?
and
I'm
help
gone.
out, they are also running away. With that being
I'm
said,
outta
if
here.
both sides legitimately want to beat the other with full conviction and no other options, 100 people can pretty quickly coordinate to absolutely bum rush on the gorilla, who simply would not be able to attack every person at once, even 20 people at once. Which brings up the third thing, weight. For as
Combined
strong as a
weight.
gorilla is, especially a potentially tired gorilla, is simply not strong enough to hold off the weight of a coordinated group of humans. At the mid-end estimation of 1,800 pounds, even just 20 200-pound humans would be able to pin down a gorilla, with the only claim to the contrary being from a guy born in the 1500s. Would people
Don't
get
believe
hurt
him.
and probably be killed in this effort to pin him down? But again, there are 50 dudes all prepared to do this, let alone the 50 women. But pinning isn't enough. The gorilla would need to be defeated, and even without tools, humans should be able to actually hurt gorillas. While human punches are far weaker than the apes, human kicks are overall far stronger. It can range from over 3,000 to over 4,000 joules, which is actually stronger than gorilla punches from...
Are we for real? Am I proven wrong? But can a human really do 3,000? A regular human. Do you know how to throw a kick? Be honest with yourself. Can you throw a kick? Do you know how to properly kick somebody? Be honest, bro. For it to have, I know you, depending on where you from, you probably a professional stomper. You could probably stomp somebody out. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are, where you from. Like, if you're from New York, I know you used to wearing Timbs. You know, you're from up north. You know, you could probably stomp somebody out very professionally. But kicking? I don't know, gang.
from a pure energy output standpoint, as crazy as that sounds. So while yes, one guy randomly kicking a gorilla would probably do nothing, several dozen people all kicking at a gorilla's head while he's already pinned down would eventually take him out. So yes, 100 humans could be a gorilla. If gorillas were truly a threat to literally 100 humans at a time, there would be far more stories of gorillas actually, you know, killing humans, while we have stories like this for elephants or bears.
I don't know. I mean, nobody's really, like you said, a gorilla is not going out his way to attack a human. So, I mean, that's kind of that's an ad point. Like, oh, if a gorilla could beat 100 people, he would do it all the time. Nah, elephants don't do that all the time. Nothing does that all the time. 100 humans is not going to just fight a gorilla, realistically. I don't know, bro. I wasn't expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting that.
So, bottom line is this. Humans most likely win, but you don't want to be at the front of the crowd when you're staring down a silverback. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you to my members, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
He said, okay, so Lonk, his take is, People are saying, what's it called? He's saying 100 humans, 100 people. 50 guys, 50 women he thinks could beat a gorilla. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, possibly. We'll never really know unless this really happened. But, okay, let me think, bro. Let's really think about it. So he said fatigue, coordination, IQ. And what was the last one? Oh, the human kicks, right? Okay, so we kind of have to like write off fatigue in this scenario because I mean, okay, so the first however many people is getting steamrolled immediately. What if the gorilla just takes out all the men first? What if the men are the first ones to go and the women are in like it's a lot of variables that could go into it. It's a fun debate to have. Me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still going with the gorilla, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Average regular humans, bro, against a gorilla, bro. I feel like all he got to do is really just he's not gonna get so tired instantly. He was talking about it like is he gonna throw a couple swings and he gonna be 1 HP, no energy, got the Gatorade symbol next to his name. That's not gonna happen. I don't think, bro. But I could be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. It's Locky and Dez. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, leave suggestions for more videos in the comment section below. I love y'all to death. Peace.